LA This Week.
Do you love Los Angeles history as much as we do? Well, if you're a history nerd, then you have to step inside the LA City Clerk's office for some of the oldest documents in the city's history. I'm Gil Reyes. I'll take you inside next.
I'm Anna Marco. So why am I wearing a Cinderella gown? We'll tell you all about the Cinderella and Prince Charming project at a place called home coming up.
And you today get Billie Eilish.
Civic engagement really does pay off. One LA high school shows you how. That's up next. Hey everyone, I'm Yana Kay. Here's what's happening in LA this week. She's become a household name when it comes to animal protection and conservation. Dr. Jane Goodall has spent most of her life in the wild, studying chimpanzees to help us better understand the world around us. Her scientific discoveries and contributions were honored at LA City Hall right in time for her 85th birthday.
Please help me welcome Dr. Jane Goodall to Los Angeles City Hall.
Let me greet you. Let me bring the voice of the chimpanzee into this space, I believe, for the very first time, and greet you. Me, Jane. Day after day, I climbed into the hills. This was where I was meant to be. I think I'd like to do a little demonstration of how a female chimpanzee greets a very high-ranking male. And I suspect the highest-ranking male is here on my left.
A little tidbit, way back in the day for 3 years, I volunteered at the Wildlife Way Station in Simi Valley. This baby chimpanzee came up to me, crawled up my legs, sat in my lap, put her arms around my neck, and kissed me on the lips. And I think, this is ironic, but not necessarily that ironic, but I always think of Jane Goodall every time I think of that baby chimp crawling up. It was one of the most special little moments I've ever had. And your legacy is that you have an army of millions carrying forward your work so that the world continues being a better place for animals.
She has an international education program called Roots and Shoots. It's been wildly successful. I believe it's in 50 countries around the world, but it started here. So she has a soft spot in her heart for LA.
As we protect the environment, the homes of the animals, we're protecting the future for our own children. And if we destroy the environment, we have stolen the future of our own children.
For more info on Jane Goodall's work or to get involved, visit janegoodall.org. If you love LA history, you'll love this. Rows upon rows of LA City archives, some dating back to the 1800s, available to sample up close. Gil Reyes has more.
Here at the LA City Clerk's office in downtown is a treasure trove of historical documents and other archives that you won't find anywhere else, including the oldest known document in the city's history. Let's go inside.
Where we are is the City Records Center. It's the largest repository of city records. It's 45,000 square feet, and we have capacity of approximately 200,000 boxes, representing 34 of the 36 city departments.
LA City archivist Michael Holland says records of unsolved murders are stored here too. LAPD can come in here and look up something that they haven't looked at maybe in 30, 40, 50 years?
Well, actually, the cold case unit of Robbery Homicide Division, they come in semi-regularly to pull old file cases. And occasionally, they actually manage to close it, which is a lot of fun when they do that.
Also here, personnel records of every LA City employee since 1939.
Employee records are kept for a certain number of years after their termination or their retirement. And in the case of the city of Los Angeles, that is 80 years.
Really?
So in other words, your records and my records and the cameraman's records will be in presumably this facility in some form or another for 80 years after, after we're gone.
Now, personnel records are off limits to the public, but so much more, like photographs and other media, are accessible.
We have things such as film. This is a 16mm training film from LAPD. They have made their own training films since the 1940s.
Efficient regulation of traffic demands that a proper system of manual signals be employed.
Archive films and recordings from LAPD, the mayor's office, and city council are available too. Now let's go way back.
What we have here is the oldest known document in City of LA history.
That is correct.
How old is this document?
This is a letter from 1827, when all of this area belonged to Mexico and everything was conducted in Spanish. This was a letter that a retired corporal from the Port of San Diego brought this letter up with him to the city of Los Angeles to present himself to the Common Council to request his pension. San Diego was the military post, but the seat of power was here in LA.
There are millions of original documents and media to explore.
That 99% of the material in our records vault, it's not digital. You can't Google and find most of that material. But that material will give anybody an edge if they want to make a killer term paper or a PowerPoint or whatever sorts of presentations are allowed in colleges these days.
Or a film or a book.
Or a film or a book, absolutely.
See what's archived at the LA City Clerk's office at 555 Ramirez Street on the 3rd floor of Piper Technical Center in downtown. Admission is free.
The City Clerk's office is open Monday through Thursday and on alternate Fridays. A new pedestrian bridge crossing the LA River will soon be taking shape, and once completed, it will connect the communities of Silver Lake and Atwater Village. We were there at the groundbreaking.
We're here to celebrate the groundbreaking for the new red car pedestrian bridge. And the reason that we're here is that we're going to be upgrading the existing Glendale and Hyperion bridges. And when we do that, we're going to lose the pedestrian path on Glendale during construction. So we're going to take these old red car piers and we're actually going to build a new bridge across here so that they'll have access all during our construction.
Very emotional, very rewarding, but I do appreciate all the people's support from councilman's vision, city engineers, the leadership.
After 16 years of, I think, blood, sweat, and tears, it feels really good that we come to this day.
The new bridge will take 1 year to complete. Technology is constantly changing, and this time around, the focus is on helping our seniors use tech in their everyday lives. And these seniors are ready for it.
This event is the premier Tech and Aging event in Los Angeles and in fact in Southern California. This event has been happening now for 3 years, and this all came about from the vision of St. Barnabas Senior Services. St. Barnabas, a 100-year-old organization serving about 18,000 vulnerable older adults annually. When I talk about technology, I'm talking about many things. We are talking about from the computers to tablets to smartphones to pill devices that remind people that they need to take their medication at a certain time, or sometimes even remind them that they've already taken their pill and they shouldn't take a second one. And this event gives them the opportunity to actually, see it, feel it, touch it, and ask questions about it.
This is Tombot. We make robotic emotional support animals. In addition to seniors with dementia who are really dealing with a medical problem, she is appropriate for anybody who could benefit from an emotional support animal but can't safely or practically care for one.
We realized that there was an appetite among the wider community of older adults in wanting to know more about technology in terms of what's out there today and how they could bring that and integrate that into their lives.
I work in the field of aging for the past almost 40 years. And what is so important for me is to know what's new, what are the new opportunities for older adults to live independently in a very fulfilling life. And so it's happening here. I think this is an expo or a conference on steroids. The diversity of services, products is extraordinary.
Authored apparel is adaptive clothing for people with disabilities or weakness, or for caregivers that dress people with disabilities or weaknesses. It's a great top to wear so that you are able to get your treatments. A lot of times if you don't have something like this, you're having to disrobe and you're having to change into a hospital gown or something that's not comfortable or that makes you feel uncomfortable.
There's over 6.5 million adults over the age of 65 that actually are not driving anymore because they're disabled or having trouble driving or just not feeling confident on the road anymore. And we started this class. It's about all of the safety technologies in your car that can help you feel safer on the road and help you feel more confident while you're driving. So it's things like blind spot warning, things like forward collision warning, backup camera, smart lights, things like that.
What I was most impressed upon is the intergenerational, the fact that young people are developing programs and technology for mixed generations and are realizing the need, and I'm sure it's partially seeing themselves in the future as well as seeing their families.
All of these and many more just led to an older adult feeling more independent, more comfortable, and more dignified.
It's a program that helps at-risk kids not only find mentorship, but also get a chance to learn life skills by getting into the ring and boxing.
I'm Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez, and it really gives me great pleasure to have you all join us today at what is really a momentous celebration here in Pacoima, in the heart of Pacoima, to open up our Pacoima Youth Source Center. Let's give it up, guys. Are we all excited?
So the Jeopardy program was designed for children and youth who are at risk, but it's also for all the youth in the community. We take kids from ages 10 to 17, and they come after school and they box, they do homework, and they kind of hang out together Monday through Thursday.
I think it's a great start. It reminds me, when I met my trainer. My trainer was key. He was instrumental in my life. He taught me how to, prepare for fights, not just for fights, but for any challenges. He taught me to set goals and to prepare to accomplish these goals.
I was with the wrong friends who I was going towards the wrong way I shouldn't be. And I started Jeopardy very young, and so I feel like they definitely set me straight.
When I see our kids from our community that are demonstrating that level of potential, I know that we haven't lost, we are gaining ground, and it makes me very proud that we are able to provide places like this in the city of Los Angeles for our kids to be successful.
A big surprise for kids at Cleveland High School in Reseda. They won a live performance by singer-songwriter Billie Eilish as part of a voting drive contest. The singer certainly has our vote.
Hey, I'm Billie Eilish.
And I'm Eric Garcetti. The City of LA is making it possible for every LAUSD high school to organize voter registration drives on campus. Every participating LAUSD high school will have the opportunity to win a live performance from Billy.
Congratulations, Cleveland. I know you have something that no other school in America has today because of your hard work. You've got Billie Eilish coming to your school. And you, of all the schools everywhere in this country, in this district, were #1. And you today get Billie Eilish.
Yo, you know what's crazy? This is the first time I've ever been inside a high school in my life. Ever. Ever.
Hi, my name is Billy.
I was just a kid who had a lot of time to focus on things that I wanted to focus on, which was kind of part of the homeschooling.
The currency of the family is music. We just let our life be driven by what Billy was interested in.
They'll be pretty soon, looking through my room for the money. Everything I do, the way I wear my noose, like a necklace. I wanna make them scared, like I could be anywhere, like I'm reckless.
Before I go on, I just want to say, your voices really do matter, and it's really important that you all know that, and sort of take advantage of that and understand that, like, you actually trying to be a good person is not pointless.
I could lie, say I like it like that, like it like that. I could lie, say I like it like that, like it like that.
The school won a citywide challenge for registering the most students to vote. The North Hollywood community came out in full force recently to brave the shave and make a bold statement in support of some very brave kids.
We're here again, right here in North Hollywood for the St. Baldricks Fundraiser that LAFD and LAPD put on every single year right here at this station. And it's a terrific opportunity to bring the community together in supporting research and prevention of childhood cancers.
Whenever we can step forward and take a lead role as a Los Angeles Fire Department, we want to do that to further the cause and the ability to raise funds for this very, very important cause.
We actually started doing this in 2003, and my child at that time was a 4-year-old who was going through cancer treatment. And I found out that the fire station here was doing a St. Baldricks event, and I asked them if I could join them. And that started a partnership that we've been doing ever since. I think the chief did a great job. I haven't seen it yet, but it feels good, and it's a little cooler, but I can certainly feel those sun rays coming on me too now.
It was better cutting than it was being cut, but I want to throw a shout out to Lieutenant Greg Doyle. His leadership in putting the Baldricks event together each year just speaks to his character, his perseverance and support of such a worthy cause.
Some teens in South LA may not have the privileges of more affluent kids, but who says they can't be a prince or princess for a day? At a place called home, they get to be just that, as it prepares them for their prom night. Anna Marcos takes a look.
Trinice Monet is about to go to her first prom night ever at Hamilton High School in South LA. And thanks to the Cinderella and Prince Charming project, she will enjoy it in style. She will get a new or almost new prom gown. And there's a bit of bling that goes with it too. Makeup? Check. Nail polish? Check. And just like in the storybook Cinderella, Shoes are also part of the magic spell.
I'm at school from 8 to 4:30, and it's really hard for my parents to kind of scrounge up money for me to get stuff, so I really much appreciate them doing this for the community.
The project is the brainchild of A Place Called Home, a group that works with youth in South LA to solve issues around health, education, the arts, poverty, and homelessness.
We're really just trying to level the playing field so that they can also participate in their senior combinations.
Kind of makes you feel like a princess. And I even have an accessory. Hundreds of girls are getting this experience for the first time, and maybe for the only time in their lives.
I think it definitely boosts up morale and their enthusiasm, their ego. I think that it does really bring out a lot of positivity in them, and it makes them feel good.
Several different high schools are taking part this time on this, the 17th year of the event. And the boys won't be left out of all the fancy stuff either. They will get prom suits and shoes. Meanwhile, Trinice seems to have found her magic gown.
I'm looking forward to the pictures and just making memories with my friends.
Happy memories that hopefully live long past the night of the ball and the stroke of midnight.
For more information on the many programs at A Place Called Home, visit apch.org. Folks in CD9 get help with their project ideas. A new way to report traffic accidents is launched, and faith leaders get together to talk about building community. All this in City Beat. All hands on deck. Council District 9 is reaching out to faith-based and nonprofit organizations in hopes of generating new local housing and project starts. South LA is in need of more housing for its residents and is incentivizing organizations who choose to build in the area.
We're interested in utilizing our faith-based and nonprofit community, making sure they are aware of what the resources are, and helping them identify resources available to assist them in their projects.
The very same resources that we can make available to be a renter, we should be make available to someone to actually become a permanent stakeholder in the community as a homeowner.
Property damage, hit-and-run accidents are not only problematic for victims, but for police as well, who spend valuable time taking field reports after they occur. In response, the LAPD has introduced a new online hit-and-run reporting system. In about 15 minutes, users can file a report and generate a PDF copy as needed. For more info, visit lapdonline.org. And City Hall hosted the annual Day of Religious Pluralism, a discussion highlighting the increasing role of faith leaders in building and strengthening alliances in order to stem the tide of hate before it begins.
How much better it is for us to come together as a community and prevent victimization in the first place because we've changed cultural norms.
Family and community members in Council District 1 also came out for a free picnic, complete with games and treats, courtesy of Councilmember Gil Cedillo.
We call it La Tardeada en el Parque, the Tardeada in the park. So it's basically spending the afternoon with the families of Pico Union here at Pico Union Best Park. Pico Union, and especially this part of Pico Union, is a very low-income community where there's not a lot of green space. So this is an opportunity for the families to bring to bring their kids to the park. We have games, we have like a music, we have like a clown show, and we have food, and it's just to activate the park here. This is the first annual, and we are hoping that we're gonna do it every single year.
Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez got parents and kids hooked on fishing as they spent the day catching catfish at Hansen Dam.
Fishing
has been a very special part of my family history. Growing up as a kid with my grandfather and my father, we used to go fishing, and it was just some of the most beautiful memories that I had growing up as a kid, and so I want to be able to introduce that to more kids in the Northeast San Fernando Valley.
Look.
It's very important for the kids to be in touch with nature and for us as well. I love fishing. It's a fun family time.
It's really fun. I waited for a tug on the rod, and then I started turning it until I got one.
It's a really great opportunity to teach the kids some new skills, patience, and what it takes to be a good fisher person.
We, Angelinos in this community, is something we are very blessed to have it close to our homes.
There's just nothing more beautiful and serene than being out at a lake.
Nice catfish, nice fatty.
Oh, shoot! Shoot!
Ow.
Connect with city, state, and nonprofits to receive free services. Come out and support the LAPD Museum at a carnival in Eagle Rock, and enjoy the West Valley on 2 wheels with Councilmember Bob Blumenfield. On this and Things to Do. Join Councilmember Paul Koretz as he sponsors Westwood Connect Day. Connect Day tasks community partners and dedicated volunteers with bringing services like legal assistance, medical services, housing resources, and showers to those experiencing homelessness. So show up and help out at Westwood Connect Day, Wednesday, April 24th, beginning at 10 a.m. at the Westwood Recreation Center. The center is located at 1350 South Sepulveda Boulevard. To volunteer, call Jessica at 213-300-8233. Councilmember Gil Cedillo and the Northeast Area LAPD Museum are hosting an Easter Carnival. Come enjoy your Easter weekend while supporting LAPD community youth programs. There'll be loads of food and rides for kids big and small. So be sure to check out the LAPD Museum's Easter Carnival happening April 19th through the 21st. At Glassell Park in Eagle Rock. The park is located at 3000 North Eagle Rock Boulevard. You can get more details about this neighborhood carnival on Eventbrite. Cycle up for the 6th annual Blumenfield Bike Ride. Join Councilmember Bob for a 10-mile community bike ride at a family-friendly pace. Riders will be escorted by LAPD officers, and one lucky rider will win a brand new Thrive bike up for raffle. Get on the move with the West Valley at the 6th annual Blumenfield Bike Ride, Sunday, April 28th, starting at 9 a.m. The ride begins at the Reseda District Office located at 19040 Van Owen Street. For more info, visit blumenfield.lacity.org/ride2019. And that's a look at some things to do. That's it for this edition. I'm Yana Kay. From all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more of LA This Week.